Good morning. It is Wednesday, September 20th, 2017. This is the Bitter Knitters podcast. My name is Jacqueline. I'm joined by Arthur.
Hey.
And Ryan.
Jacqueline. Okay, hello.
Yeah, Arthur's having a cranky morning. He doesn't have coffee for his milk. Or milk for his coffee.
I'm fucking mad.
So, I mean, we can't control him. If he goes crazy,
That's not
it's the coffee's fault.
Ugh.
Let's talk about real tragedy. Not this coffee issue. Mexico had a huge earthquake yesterday. What was it, like a 7.1 that hit just outside of Mexico City? And shit is bad there. It's the anniversary of a huge one that killed thousands of people in 1985. And they were doing earlier in the day, they did a earthquake preparedness drill. And literally later in the day, they get it's awful.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say it's been a crazy month for tragedies. You think about that in Mexico City, in Mexico City, and then Irma's hitting Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Category 4, and then Harvey and
Maria's hitting the Caribbean right now as we speak. Puerto Rico.
Rather, Maria was hitting them. Irma. It's been crazy this month.
And Mexico already took Hurricane Katia, and it had an earthquake last week as well.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I've already stated that I would never go there, so that's the biggest tragedy, that they'll never experience Jacqueline. But I mean, it's awful. I mean, a school. I'm reading reports that, of course, a school was crushed, and they're pulling out little dead bodies, and at least 44 buildings have come down so far. Explosions were happening. And we're talking about one of the biggest cities in the world. 8.1 million people live there.
That's just a huge city. That's almost as big as New York City, which has, I think, 13 million right now. People.
Yeah.
In the city alone. Yeah.
I haven't heard about. I don't know if you guys have been reading the news on this or not. I know outside of the main city, the bus is here. Outside the main city is a lot of shanty towns. I wonder how those people are faring. I mean, maybe because a huge building's not collapsing on them, they might live. But I mean, they probably got nothing. Again, more nothing.
Shanties will probably hold their structure at least.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Well, at least if you're like two pieces of wood and a cloth fall on you, you probably got a better chance of living.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's brutal. I feel bad for them, really bad for them.
Yeah, earthquakes are one thing you can't do shit about. Like, there's nothing, dude. There's no global warming shit. There's no excuse. There's no fucking blame to be put anywhere. That shit just fucking happens.
Unless you're in freaking like Oklahoma and they're fracking and causing earthquakes, that's a little different. But
yes.
But it's sad, and you don't know when they're gonna come. Exactly, you have no warning, true warning, and you're kind of at the mercy of what the earth is gonna do to you. It's horrible.
Not even just that, but it's a natural. We always have to remember. It's very sad, but it is a natural cause. It's a natural tragedy. Yeah. We don't have anybody to blame.
No.
Yeah. You just hopefully they rebuild stronger buildings.
Yes.
And if you can donate and you have the money, send some money to help them because they're going to need it. And they were quite quick to send him money and supplies to Houston after Harvey. So I mean, we are one race. We are the human race, and let's think about other people too.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's very sweet and PC of me. By the way, my son this is funny. I have to talk about this really quickly. My son made me do a political where you lean or land test this morning because he wanted to see if I was truly a communist, like this guy at work calls me. So apparently, I'm a leftist. What is it? Let me look it up because I'm so dumb at this stuff. I'm a libertarian, left-leaning libertarian.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny. I'm close to Gandhi. Apparently, I sit on the same place as Gandhi. Yeah, left libertarian. And my son is actually that too, which I think is funny.
That's just a nice way of calling you a communist.
Well, the communist was above me, and I wasn't in that area.
Yeah.
So.
I have to say that's wrong. You are a left lesbian, not Tarian. Mm-hmm. You're a lesbian.
Okay, so just a quick little update. We've been talking a lot about the legalization of marijuana in Canada.
Yeah,
coming next July. This story annoyed the hell out of me. So the guys that have been the early pioneers of legalizing marijuana, especially what's his name, the Prince of Pot?
Oh, Mark Emery.
Yeah, he's basically stating that all these kind of the rebels that started it and you know the movement, they're not going to buy legal pot. They're going to still buy from their dealers because they're going to show them that, you know, they can't control how the pot is going to be sold in Canada.
Told you. I told you this was going to be a fucking issue.
But I mean, I get their point. But I don't get why they thought that it was going to be an open market straight off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We've always tightly controlled our liquor. I do think pot lounges would be pretty reasonable. We have bars.
Yeah.
Why can't you have a tea house or a pot lounge that's licensed to sell this stuff? The same as, you know,
Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, not just Amsterdam, but I mean, like, if I can go to a restaurant and have a beer with my dinner, why can't I go to a pot lounge and drink some tea with, you know, some crumpets or something? I don't know.
Tea and some crumpets and some pot.
Some tea and crumpets. But yeah, that was a little update I wanted to say. And I mean, it should be interesting to see what's coming. They're definitely going to be pushing. There's a lot of, what do they call them? Cannabis, what do you call those stores where you go and you buy your cannabis?
What, the dispensary?
Dispensary. I cannot think of that word. There's a lot of them out there. They get hit, you know, usually once a month because it is still illegal to buy and sell marijuana without a license or, you know, those things. So
they also get robbed a lot.
Yeah, I'd be scared to work there. To be honest.
Absolutely.
And you can't put this money in the bank because the banks aren't going to take that money. So you have to keep it cash somewhere. That'd be super scary. Anyway.
I'll put it in my bra.
Yeah.
Your bra. So, you know, I'm sure I'll have a lot more updates on this just because it's a fascinating story to me to see how this is going to, you know, I never really thought it would happen and it did. So I'm still waiting. So did you guys see President Trump 45's speech yesterday to the UN?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm not going to go into it too big, but of course he called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man again.
Amazing.
And he said, it was actually a very scary statement. He said that they will not think twice about literally destroying North Korea if they try anything. Super harsh words, I guess. But for as bad as he is, and you know what you need to look up, go to BuzzFeed. I know it's not a very newsworthy site, but I have a couple stories from there. And look for the pictures of what's his name, James Kelly, the White House chief of staff. They took his picture whenever Trump was giving his speech, and just the looks on his face are hysterical. He's just like, get me out of here. But somebody who would be worse than 45 as a president. Can you think of anybody?
Don't think there's another person.
Well,
qualified.
There's somebody who apparently is hitting up his friends and saying, do you think I could be a good president? And he's definitely thinking about being president or governor, and that is the Mooch, Anthony Scaramucci. Do you remember this guy? He was the press secretary for 10 days before he got fired.
Yes.
This guy thinks he's going to be president.
Oh my god. It's turned. I just, you know, as funny as it is, I hate to turn serious so early in the morning and create wrinkles in my face, but an utter joke out of the United States presidency because of this guy. It's like, no, his presidency is not illegitimate. It's a legitimate presidency, but now the presidency is illegitimate because of him. It's just a running joke that we had for
a worldwide joke, which is really sad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy to think that we have been dumbed down to this level.
Well, I mean, sadly, the honor and prestige of the office, you know, of the president. I mean, even the worst president, you know, like if you look at somebody like George Bush, who was not universally liked or respected. there was at least some respect. You know what I mean? I mean, people still were like, "Ooh, it's George Bush," you know, or you know, he had some comforting words every once in a while. But
if you there's actually an article on it's either Huffington Post or BuzzFeed showing the approval ratings of the past, I think, 7 presidents.
Yeah.
He's the only one whose disapproval ratings are higher than the approval ratings on the 200 day mark. That's the saddest part about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
What are you going to do? That's enough Trump talk. I hate that guy.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So this story is kind of interesting. I know Arthur hasn't had a chance to see any of the story, so he doesn't know what we're talking about too much.
No.
A German court has fined 3 people for failing to help an ailing man in a bank. So basically what happened was this guy went to the bank machine, went into the little, you know, vestibule area and collapsed and was laying there. He couldn't get up. He wasn't dead. I think he might have been conscious, or at least semi-conscious. And 3 people came in, stepped over him, and used the bank machine without even looking at him or trying to help him. Finally, the 4th person came in and you know, made a call to 911. They said they thought he was homeless, but he apparently was dressed quite nice. So how could he have been homeless? But even if he's homeless,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't excuse it.
You have to help people. Yeah. But yeah, they were fined. They were fined 2,400, 3,600, and 2,900 euros for failing to help.
It's not enough in my book.
No, but I mean, at least it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking disgusting.
You know? Yeah. Well, it harkens back to, I mean, the big, what was her name? Kitty in New York City. The one that was being stabbed repeatedly and people looked out the window, but nobody called police back in the 60s. The famous story.
There's,
you know, what?
There's a video the other day that I seen circulating Facebook. It was kind of the same thing. There was 2 men fighting on a street, and the guy was just stabbing the shit out of the other dude, and they just sat there and fucking watched it and filmed it, and like no one steps in, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Do you think these people should be fined or charged? You know, where do we draw the line?
Like, if dude's fucking lying on the ground having a seizure, yeah, I think you should have to help. But like somebody gets stabbed, yeah, I can understand not wanting to get in the fray and get fucking stabbed yourself.
Yeah.
But you should at least call 911.
But you have a phone. Call 911. I think if you don't call for help or alert the police or something, I think, you know, maybe you should get a fine. I mean, I'm not saying it, you know, lose your home and go to jail, but I think people should be held accountable. We're, you know, when people are in trouble, we should be helping them.
Yeah.
I agree.
What does it hurt to help someone? And I agree. I'm not saying you get involved in a fight or a gunfight and try to save somebody, you know, but it takes 2 seconds to go around the corner if you're worried about being, you know, seen. Go around the corner and call the police. Yeah. And everybody has a phone nowadays. Don't tell me you don't have a phone. If you're filming, you have a phone.
But if you're not filming.
And even now, I remember in the old days when cell phones first came out, if you didn't have any minutes or you were your plan was done, you couldn't call 911. Now you can. They have to let you call 911. So, I don't know. Have you ever seen, like, now this is the other question I want to ask. Have you ever seen somebody in distress? Have you ever had to help somebody on the street?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, tell us your story. What did you see?
Well, I was out at a bar, and I went up front to have a cigarette, and this old man came up and asked me for a smoke. You know, gave him a cigarette, like the smoke for him. He takes a drag off it, and then instantly, like, the guy just, I guess he had a fucking seizure or some shit, and just fell and smoked his fucking head off the ground, cracked his fucking forehead open. He was bleeding everywhere. So I ended up taking my overshirt off and, you know, trying to fucking wrap around his head and, you know, give him a pillow or some shit to put his head on as I ran to the bar and started screaming, you know, call an ambulance, call an ambulance, call an ambulance.
Yeah.
I mean, it turned out okay. They gave me a free beer, so
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you know,
should have got to drink for free all night. What the hell?
I'd already paid my bill, so.
Oh.
What happened with you, Ryan?
It was a homeless person. I was on the train. I was walking from one train to the other, like a transfer.
Yeah.
And this guy, like literally, kind of like what Arthur said, he just collapsed as he was sitting down. I stayed there. I called 911 right away. And I waited until the ambulance came and stuff, and it was late to work, but I didn't care.
Yeah, no, you can't care at that point. I've had a few things. I saw a couple old people collapse, and stayed with them until help came. The scariest one, actually, it was when I was living in Oshawa. I was at the bus stop waiting to go to work, right on close to that building where you guys lived, Arthur.
Okay.
And I saw this woman running at me with her stroller, and she's screaming, "Help my baby! Help my baby!" And she had a phone in her hand, and the baby was turning blue and wasn't breathing.
God.
And so I grabbed the phone because she couldn't do anything. I grabbed the phone, and I'm talking to 911, and they're like, "Unzip the sleeper, the jacket. Don't move the baby. Don't try to do CPR. Just get some cool air on the baby and kind of open it up, right?" So I stood there, and once that got opened, the baby kind of started to move and breathe. But I waited till the ambulance came. She was crying. She was hugging me. And that was scary. And I was okay. I was just like calm and everything. I got to work, and I walked up because I worked with Scott at the same time. And I went in, and I as soon as I saw Scott, I started to cry because it was such a scary situation.
Of course.
But yeah, that was the scariest one. But I assume the baby lived. It was alive when I left. So
hopefully,
yeah.
Let's cross our fingers.
Yeah. But yeah.
In 20 years, can you imagine you'd be on that show, You Saved My Life? And
oh my God, I just unzipped their jackets.
Yes.
I don't know if I really saved their life.
But what you didn't know was that at that point, you really opened up his airways or her airways
Oh my God.
to be able to breathe properly. You're a healer. Oh my God, you're an X-Men.
That just makes me laugh. I can imagine. I'd be like, who this? Okay, so here's another story from BuzzFeed. Take it with a grain of salt because this story is the headlining is misleading. The headline says, anti-fascists used Twitter to find neo-Nazi walking around Seattle and beat him up. So basically, somebody was on the train. They saw a guy wearing a Nazi armband. And apparently was harassing a black guy on this bus. And then he proceeded to go downtown and talk to people, I guess shouting out his beliefs and maybe harassing people as they walked by of different colors. People were sharing it and saying they saw him here, they saw him there. But I don't think the person that actually punched him out was part of that because I don't get any confirmation.
No.
But I did see the punch, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you watch the video, Arthur?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah, so basically from what I can see in the video, the last thing he said is they deserve the welfare, and then the guy punched him. I don't know that he necessarily was tracked down through anti-fascist movements. I think this guy happened to be walking around and saw him. Yeah. It was like, this guy needs to be taken out, which is great. But still.
It is and it isn't. I mean, I get it. I understand the hate. I do. I understand, you shouldn't accept Nazis, but I'm not about assaulting fucking people on the street because they might be a fucking idiot.
Well, this is the thing. If he was just walking around with his Nazi arm badge, I wouldn't have been down for him to get punched. But if you're harassing people on the bus and in public and you're saying, I would assume, racist things to them, I think you're going to get punched and you might deserve it. If I'm standing outside on the street and I'm saying the N-word, someone's going to punch me in the face.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I'm not for see my thing is I'm on the fence about stuff like that because I'm not for violence. If someone is screaming, the N-word or the S-word or the C-word or whatever word, I'm not saying we shouldn't punch them. I'm not saying we should. My whole thing is what is the punch going to accomplish? But then put something on your record that you did violence of some sort. The thing is, by law, they're covered by the First in United States are covered by the First Amendment to be able to say these things. So for me, it's kind of towing a line of are we then shushing people because of their beliefs? I don't know. It's a slippery slope. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree. It's just a slippery slope. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely get the point. I don't think people should be punched for speaking their mind. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I did enjoy it, but I think we have to realize that not everybody's going to toe the line and not everybody's going to agree with your right to freedom of speech.
Eggs. Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's an overbearing right, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's an overbearing right. It's not a right that people get to pick and choose. You don't get to pick and choose what speech is allowed and what speech isn't. And that's the thing that really fucking aggravates me about this whole fucking thing is these little fucking snot-nosed fucking anti-fascists definitely are not the fucking people to tell me what the fuck I can and cannot fucking say. Not at all. Now, I definitely can understand punching a fucking literal Nazi in the face, especially if he's out there fucking preaching hate. But I never seen any of that shit. You know, how easy is it to lie? How easy is it to say, oh, he was just saying some racist fucking shit, so I was in every fucking right.
True.
You know, these fucking assholes have proven time and time again that they don't give two fucks about law. They don't give a fuck about people's constitutional rights. Yeah. They are just fucking anarchists. Now, again, if I seen an asshole walk around the street with the fucking Nazi armband, I'd have a few fucking things to say to him, but I'm not going to go straight to fucking violence.
Punch him,
You know what I mean? Like, fuck off. I'm just so sick of this shit. And the worst part is this is going to make them feel like they're now fighting that good fight. Like, look, we got one. We fucking did it, boys.
That's why I don't like that title of that story, because it's misleading to me. We have no real proof that that person was part of Antifa.
Yeah.
You know, it could just be somebody who was pissed off and punched him.
Yeah.
So that annoys me, and it's kind of trying to make Antifa look like heroes in this.
Exactly.
In this instance. And I don't want them to look like heroes. No, I agree with you 100%. I don't think they're in the right.
No, they haven't been ever. They weren't fucking.
And our listener Retro Raccoon says Antifa continually misidentify people as Nazis, and that's true as well.
Well, according to them, I'm a Nazi.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, if you're against them, then you obviously are a racist.
I'm a white supremacist. I'm a fucking Nazi because I believe in people's freedom of speech. I believe in debate, not just fucking shutting people down. Yeah. And I believe in borders. So to them, I am just some big fucking deplorable who should get assaulted on the street.
Yeah. Well, that's ridiculous. I don't think you should be assaulted on the street. But if people want to disagree with you, that's within their right, of course.
Absolutely.
I think this guy who punched him is willing to take a charge, though. I think he'll be happy with that charge.
I'll give him a little bit of kudos for that. I'm just for example, what this brings me back to is it's both sides of the fences. You think about the people who are fighting for their gay rights back in Stonewall days and how they got beat, for believing that this was a human rights issue. Yeah. It's crazy because it goes both sides of the fences. I'm not saying we need to enable or allow, these neo-Nazis or whatever they are, white supremacists, white nationalists, whatever they're called. There's too many names. To roam free and spread their hate. But typically, most of the time, they do this in private. They don't do this in public, I will say. From the documentaries, because I'm an investigative journalist, but from the documentaries that I see, they do a lot of these things in private, not in public. Yeah. But I mean, wearing that armband, I probably would have just kind of took a picture of it and made him famous on Twitter or something. You know what I mean? Because it's stupid.
It's so dumb. Yeah. And the thing that really aggravates me about this whole fucking anti-fascist thing is these kids are walking around under the banner, or like the fucking sickle. You know what I mean? Like a fucking communist.
That's not even anything better to be.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm supposed to take your fucking word for it? Fascism killed maybe 15 million people total. Communism has been responsible for over 100 million fucking deaths. Go fuck yourself. You are not that fucking righteous.
No.
And I can't stand these fucking entitled little fucking brats. Like, they piss me off beyond fucking words. They are so dumb. They don't even fight under a cohesive fucking argument. It's just it's so fucked up because all these kids are those stupid fucking Occupy Wall Street fucking assholes that thought they did something really big. They really thought that they were fighting the fucking man, and now their position's bolstered. Now they believe like, oh, we have the power, man. We're the fucking resistance. No, you're just a bunch of fucking wannabes. You guys are lame. You're fucking lame. They keep preaching fucking civil war and shit like that. Who the fuck do you think the army's gonna back, you stupid motherfuckers? You honestly think you have a fucking chance and you're just going to go out assaulting people you disagree with or label other people that you disagree with as this fucking horrendous thing as a Nazi so you have the right to fucking attack them?
I hate that that's how not even just these Antifa people, but a lot of these liberal people they become. This is something like Bill Maher always talks about
Yeah.
too. The minute you start disagreeing with somebody, or you start you question a religion, you're suddenly an Islamophobe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You should be allowed to question anything. Any belief, principle, idea should stand up to question.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that you hate those people and want them killed or kept out of your country. It's just a matter of you want people to be able to stand up and say, well, if this is your religion, what about this? Answer to this. And if you believe, that's how it should be. And my worry about attacking people on the street that are saying things that you don't agree with, I don't know if I'm assuming it's happening in New York City, but I know in Toronto, every time you go downstairs, there's some kook on a microphone preaching about the fucking end of the world is coming.
Oh,
Yep.
that happens in New York all the time.
I'm not a religious person. I'm an atheist. Does that mean I get to punch this guy because he's talking about God? Do I
Yep.
get to punch the Jehovah's that stand at the bus stop and try to recruit me?
Right.
Yep. Or the ones that knock on my door literally as I'm taking a nap, wearing.
Well, I got a cure for that. I take my dogs to the door and they get scared, and I just bye.
It's just, no, but to me, it's like I'm
yeah.
I'm religious. I don't think you should be. Here's my thing, and this is why I say about the First Amendment. It's kind of like a towing the line for me. I don't like the fact that there are people who knock on your door on the street screaming all of these hoo hoo rah rah crap, and it's like, shut up. If people really need and want your help, they will come to you. They would.
Yeah, I agree that with religion, but I mean, I kind of think if you don't stand up and question the government, like I get why these Antifa people think they're trying to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're doing it in the wrong way, and they're not having an open mind. If you don't say something, the government never changes. If we didn't say anything, we wouldn't have civil rights for Black people. We wouldn't have gay rights. So you have to be able to speak up. You have to be able to question your government. That's what I love about one of our rights in the Charters of Rights and Freedoms in Canada is we implicitly have the right to question the government.
Yeah.
And we're not considered traitors or treasonous if we do question the government.
Yeah.
Treason.
I think every person should be allowed to have a voice and say what they want to say. Of course, I'm not for hate speech. You guys know that. But, you have to be able to protest if you want to protest peacefully.
No. I'm
is the
talking
key
about
word.
religious groups.
Oh, yeah, I hate religious
That's
groups. that come to
that's
my
what
door.
I'm talking
Fuck
about. Like on
Yeah.
that's my you want to protest.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
can't pick and choose who gets to protest. We can't say only
Exactly.
the leftists get to protest. Everybody gets to protest.
Yeah. Sadly, if these Nazis want to have a freaking Klan rally and protest taking down General Lee, they should be allowed to as long as it's peaceful. And they're not saying hate speech, right?
But-
the same for liberals. Liberals can't go out there and say death to Nazis.
But
Sorry.
they can, though. Like, it's
They shouldn't be
socially
allowed.
acceptable.
Same.
And the fact
Yeah.
is with these Antifa, and this is the argument that I keep seeing from them, is that the speech from anybody alt-right or white supremacist or Nazi, whatever the fuck you want to label these idiots, that their speech is violence. And the moment that they can deem your speech, the words you say, as something violent, they now have a right to physically defend themselves.
Yeah.
That's why when you see them in these giant fucking protests, they just attack everybody. Because they believe that if you support 45, then that speech now is violence. I watched one last week. I can't remember where the protest was at. I believe it was somewhere in fucking Berkeley, because that place is a fucking hellhole right now.
Oh my God.
And-
The place, the birthplace of,
Free speech is going to be the
free
death of
speech
it.
and protesting and sit-ins and all this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
They're going to fucking
Yeah.
kill it. But anyway, all these stupid fucking communist asshats show up with these fucking no-hate fucking shields and start beating the shit out of people with them.
No hate.
Love
anymore.
Trump's hate all over their shit as they're beating the shit out of a 16-year-old kid and his fucking elderly
Ridiculous.
father because they have a different political leaning than them. These people
not
are
right.
fucking monsters. They're idiots.
Yeah.
They're being allowed to fucking run rampant. And the
Yeah.
fucking horrible thing is there's some bad shit's gonna fucking happen, and it's not gonna look good on them.
Well, and this is the problem in these universities. And it's not just Berkeley. Berkeley's one of them. These universities used to be a place where you went and your beliefs were challenged.
Mm.
Your beliefs were 100% challenged. You had a professor or somebody else in your class that would make a statement that you wouldn't like to hear, but
Mhm.
you had to hear it, and it would make you think. Now it's like universities have to be safe
Yeah,
spaces.
you need a safe space.
No, that's why I really applaud the professors and the teachers that are like, no, it's not a safe space. You're here to think.
Yeah.
That's what Salman Rushdie said the other day on
Yeah.
Bill Maher. He's like, they're not safe spaces, and they're not.
No, they shouldn't be.
They don't want Bill Maher to talk because he apparently is an Islamophobe. They won't let, and I hate him, Milo Yiannopoulos,
Yeah.
but I mean, debate him in public.
But they can't.
If you think his ideas are stupid, debate him instead of just, not letting people speak. It's ridiculous.
But that's the best part, though, is they can't. They can't debate guys like Milo or Ben Shapiro or fucking Dinesh D'Souza. They can't say shit to these people because they know their arguments are weak. They know the ground that they stand on is fucking, it's non-existent. These kids are fucking dumb. They are absolutely stupid. They just believe that they're fucking revolutionaries. It's so fucking funny to me, and how people, and I mean, I hate kind of saying this, but people on the fucking left for a while there were applauding them, going, "Oh God, these are the people we need. These are the guys out there fucking leading the charge for us." And now look, you've now created a fucking
monster. The minute you become violent, I don't care what you're if you're supporting gays, trans, black people, Asians, I don't care. The minute you become violent, I can't support you anymore.
And there's a little band of them that have been around in Toronto. I've seen a few videos of them fucking talking their shit here, and they were going off about hate speech and shit like that. And how we got to get hate speech off our streets here. And this guy says, he's like, "Have you ever read the Charter Bill of Rights? You know that hate speech is absolutely fucking illegal here. It's against the law. We have it in our fucking laws that you cannot promote hate speech here in Canada." And the kid looked at him with this dumbfounded fucking look, like, "Oh my God, how could I not know this basic fucking law that I'm out here fucking screaming about like a goddamn fucking moron?" I hate these fucking idiots. I hate them with a passion. It's again, I can respect you fighting that good fight. I really can. If there's real injustices, I can respect that fucking fight. But these kids are just snotty little fucking spoiled brats.
Get a job.
Get a job. And that's it too, I guarantee you, if any of these fucking communists actually went out and got a job and seen how much of their fucking taxes were going to helping people that aren't fucking doing shit, they would change their tune pretty fucking quick. When I was a teenager, I used to know a lot of these fucking hardcore left-leaning anti-fascist punk rockers. Because that's what most of these kids are. They're all fucking punks, right? All the punks are fucking ideologies. And they were all like that back in the day. Fuck that, man. We should all have equal shares and everyone's equal and blah, blah, blah. Now that we're in our 30s and they're working and shit, they're completely fucking conservative. They hate this whole fucking movement. You know what I mean? Go out and get a fucking job.
Yeah.
See what the real world's like, you fucking idiots. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Well, it's these people who are in school who don't realize what... I'm not saying this about everybody, but a lot of them don't realize what it's really like to... to pay taxes, to contribute something into society. Because, and I see this all the time where it's people say, "Oh, you only have that belief because, you're gay or this." No. I don't have that belief just because I'm gay. I have that belief because I'm contributing. And so if you're going to take money out of my account, right?
Yeah.
That paycheck that I work hard for every week, every 2 weeks or whatever, then I have a right to say something about, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you're going to say, I'm a second-class citizen because of my orientation or because of my skin color or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you go to school and you've never worked hard in your life, a day in your life, straight from high school to college in your dorm, you're thinking, my God, it's these gay people just want rights, especially, in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Have you ever in your life worked ever?
Nope.
Yeah.
For you to realize what that means when you say that and how offensive that is.
Exactly.
Because I'm contributing to your financial aid.
Yeah.
Contributing to your
it's true.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, you're a taxpayer and your money's going to taxes, and those taxes are spent by the government, and
exactly.
if you're getting your student aid, welfare, whatever it is.
Fuck those kids. Fuck them to death. I feel the same towards the anti-fascists as I do fucking fascists.
Yeah.
I really do. And since I feel like their speech is violence, I'm going to start punching any fucking balaclava fucking clad idiot I see. Flat the fuck out. If they have the right to fucking hit somebody who they deem their speech is violence, then fuck it. I'm gonna take their motherfucking lead. I'm gonna start punching them in their fucking faces.
Well, and they're called Antifa, and we mentioned this a couple times already. But if you don't agree with them,
yes,
you're wrong, which means they're forcing you to believe they're the fascists.
There it is.
Yeah.
I mean, show me the Trump supporters that are walking around like fucking brown shirts, shutting people down, burning fucking books, not allowing certain things to be fucking said. I can't find them. I honestly can't find them.
Ryan, cut it out.
Sure.
But I can see a bunch of these little fucking snot-nosed fucking idiot Antifas fucking doing it. They are the worst.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on. We don't like Antifa. We say that I think every episode we say how much we hate Antifa.
Oh, I know I do. I'm going to start off every show like that now.
I saw this story on Sunday, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger story. We ran out of time, so we didn't get to talk about it on Monday. The story of the Georgia Tech student that got shot by the campus police.
Oh, yeah.
Their name is Scout Schultz. They were the president of the Pride Alliance on the campus. Don't know the details what happened behind it, but for some reason Scout was seen walking around in the evening time with a gun, or sorry, not a gun, a knife. And apparently it wasn't a full knife. It's kind of like one of the, like a Swiss Army sort of thing.
Swiss Army knife, yeah.
Yeah. So they were walking around with that, and the police arrived on scene, and they were kind of like, drop the knife, drop the knife. Scout would not listen, continued to walk towards the police apparently, and said, go ahead, shoot me.
Okay.
To me, it was textbook fucking suicide by cop.
Yeah, me too. Now
I watched the video, and I mean, textbook fucking suicide by cop.
Yeah. So that to me was the sort of same thing. Now, apparently there was protests held the other night. People are mad, saying that they should have did more, tasered Scout, or whatever the reason, what they think should have happened. More training into dealing with people that are having mental breakdowns or whatever. The cop now is being investigated. They're going to investigate and see if he did the right thing. But I did see, this is the one thing I want to talk about, because I found this super, super interesting when, where is it? I'm going to find it in this. It's a BuzzFeed article. They were talking to Scout's father. And Scout's father said that recently Scout had been slightly involved with the anti-fascist community and had expressed a number of anti-fascist ideas to me. I tend to think that if there was a cause, it might have been anger at the police over all the shootings and all the long litany of police shootings. I kind of feel, reading that statement, that maybe Scout wanted to die by police to
be a martyr.
Prove a point? Yeah, a martyr to the cause.
Yeah, that actually is not surprising. That wouldn't surprise me one fucking bit.
That's very sad. If that's the case, it's extremely sad, because it's like, you're going to die. Oh my, I'm not even going to make a comment. I'm a nice person.
And it's a sad case, because we know that there's a lot of young black men dying around America, being shot by police. For real situations. Situations. And if this turned out to be the case, that Scout did this for this reason, I really have no sympathy for Scout at all, or their cause.
Again, I've always found it hard to have sympathy for people that don't follow the goddamn police's orders. I really do. When the cops are yelling at you with their guns drawn, get on the ground. Get the fuck on the ground. You're not proving anything. You're not get on the fucking ground. They're going to shoot you. We have given them the right to do that. I can't remember who said it. It was Ben Shapiro that said this at his Berkeley Free Speech Week, and I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something like, the reason why we can live this life that we live is because we give all of that deciding power to the government and law to keep us safe. You know what I mean? We give them the right to enforce these rules, so we don't have vigilante fucking idiots. We don't have people, on opposite side of the fences.
Lynching mobs.
You know what I mean? It's how we have an orderly fucking society. I don't know. I feel bad that the kid fucking died, but at the same point in time, I watched the video, and he kept going at the fucking cop with the knife drawn. He kept saying, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. That was suicide by cop. That kid wanted to fucking die.
Our friend Retro Raccoon is just saying, this is a little detail I hadn't heard. Scout left a suicide notes, and they themselves called 911.
Boom. There you go. So it was a fucking plan. He knew that he was gonna die that day. It was
Is
absolute.
it a he or a she?
Yeah.
I thought Scott was a she.
They.
I believe they are trans and they use
Okay.
they as their pronoun.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that's why I was very carefully trying to say
Well,
they.
yeah, we have to say they, or else we can go to
'cause
fucking jail here.
Yeah, I apologize.
Well,
I
I'm
didn't know
just
either.
trying to use the pronouns they enjoyed or liked.
No, but it's just like that's like if me, right? If I told you guys, oh my god, I got attacked by a pack of dogs because I was chasing them with pizza, that's my fault. You know what I mean? Like that at some point, and this is a running topic I feel like in my life, especially with conversations with friends in private, even on the podcast, accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to be able to take accountability for your actions. And stick up for those and not play victim each and every single time. I like what Arthur said. If a cop told me, I'm not pro-cop, I'm not anti-BLM or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm not against anything. But I will say, if somebody told me a cop or an FBI agent or whoever, drop to the ground, I will drop to the ground. Whether I think I'm in the wrong or not. Not because, oh my God, they're the government, but because drop to the fucking ground. That's an authority figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how we're taught. I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that just because some random Tom, Dick, and Harry asks me. Maybe if it's a sex game. But, no, you know, but like in actuality, I will drop to the ground. Now, if I get shot while I drop to the ground, that's a different story.
Yeah.
You
We
know what I
definitely
mean?
have seen cases where people were complying and still got shot.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I don't want to say privilege because, you know, I hate that word, but maybe my experience, I've never been stopped by the police like that. You kind of sometimes wonder why, especially these young black men are running from the police, especially now, because it's kind of like, I mean, look, the freaking, what was his name? Michael Brown. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
No, that's
What's his name?
Philando Castile, I think.
Oh,
No, Philando's the one that got shot in the car.
Freddie Gray.
yeah, in the car with Freddie Gray.
The sad part is we're naming so many names.
Yeah.
The details
There's
are all
so
wrong.
many
There's so
names.
many. Like, there's actual real,
It's
like,
sad.
real problem.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't truly resisting arrest until he felt like he couldn't breathe, and
Well,
they pushed the knee in farther. You can kind of see why people run for their lives or fight for their lives, because to them, it is a true fight for their lives in some cases.
Well, the thing is too, when was it? It was around this time last year. Earlier last year, we were moving things from one apartment to the other, right? And we got stopped because the car was super full. And lo and behold, 3 cops show up out of the, or 2 or 3, whatever. I don't know. I was sleepy. Out of the cop car, and was like looking at us like we're crazy. But in my head, I thought, but I kind of understand why they would respond that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They automatically had their guns on their thing. That would scare almost anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why educating yourself in these situations.
Yeah.
It's key to staying to being surviving.
Yeah. Really, just if you, and it's awful to say, but I mean, you just do what they say, because at least if you're not being shot, you have a chance once you get to the jail and you speak to your lawyer. Hopefully, you got a better chance of surviving. If you're out on the side of the street and you're resisting arrest, you have and especially, sadly, if your skin's not light, you have a really good chance of dying in some places.
That's why I always say I'm a Southern white woman. Yeah,
Make America great again.
Yeah.
No, you gotta watch that. That's hate speech. That speech is violence. You can't say that slogan, or else someone's gonna fucking knock you out on the street.
Someone's gonna pop up out of Jacqueline's bathroom and be like, punch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when I got punched. But you know what? Oh, I'm not gonna say it.
Say it. Say it.
America really does need to be great again.
Yes, it really
hasn't been for like 9 months.
It really does. No, I mean, my whole thing is not to bring him up. I really do hate talking about him, but my God, like it's a running joke. When was it? I think it was the British Prime Minister or someone in Britain had just said Trump saying something basically was just because the attacks that happened in UK.
No, that probably was France, because Theresa May seems to like him. But I think Macron.
Are you sure?
I don't
know. I
know.
wouldn't say it's probably her. I remember reading this saying like it was it didn't help. It didn't add to anything. It was just like,
well, no, he doesn't add to anything.
It's sorry. God, I just don't want to talk about him. I don't like talking about him. You know, like just let him be. I just want to wait for the 4 years to be over.
Oh, it's going to be 8.
Oh God.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Don't do that to my little heart. The same heart that believed, even though I knew he was going to win, believed he wasn't going to win. Don't do that.
I know. Don't do that. Please be nice.
Okay. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm running out of interesting stuff to talk about. Do you want to talk about Toys R Us?
What's going on with Toys R Us?
They're filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, that's a great topic. I've noticed, so in New York, not to be specific, I don't want people to rate me. I live in Queens County. There are no more Toys R Us in Queens County. The big Toys R Us in Times Square, that big landmark staple, that's gone too. There's actually one. I'm sorry, I misspoke. There's one Toys R Us that I'm familiar with, but it's not accessible by bus. And I kind of understand why, because companies like Amazon can deliver this to your home within 2 days and not have to bother.
Yeah, and it's probably cheaper. Bless you. It's probably cheaper. I mean, last time I've been in Toys R Us for a while because my kids are grown now. But I mean, shit was expensive there.
Oh my God.
It was cheaper to go to Walmart or order off of Amazon.
Well, the other thing is, too, when you are a store that caters specifically to one thing, like a Toys R Us or like, what else? It's something like GameStop, right? Because GameStop stores are closing down as well. It does kind of make your life a little bit more hassled, especially when you can go into a Walmart, let's say, or a Target, and everything is there. There's toys, there's food, there's toiletries and whatever. They kind of understand why it's, filing for or why they're filing for bankruptcy now.
Yeah. Now, I read in this article, Hasbro and Mattel are kind of freaking out because 10% of their sales come from Toys R Us.
That's a huge margin.
That's 10%. A huge. I mean, if you make $5 billion and 10% of your money is now gone,
$500 million are now gone.
Oh my God, that was good math. I had no idea I wasn't going to say the number.
Yeah, well, because that's a simple math. If you
not for me. Not for me.
Nice round number.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, it would be gone. And 10%. Just some people are like, oh, what's 10%? Well, 10%, if you put it in a huge, breakdown, it's a pretty big chunk of money. 500 million is a lot. You know what I mean? That's probably a factory in China that they employ that they now have to potentially shut down or whatever the case is. Yeah.
And so now, I mean, they're saying for now their online stuff is still going to be, and their gift cards are still going to hold up. But, it would make me think twice if I was going to a baby shower. I definitely wouldn't give them a Toys R Us card.
No. Unless you didn't like the person.
Well, yeah. And I mean, even when I was going to my nephew, not Arthur, another nephew had a baby recently, and when I went to their baby shower, I was going to bring them a Sears card, but I thought, oh, Sears is kind of iffy.
Yeah.
So I went with Walmart, which is, sorry.
It's something like Walmart is universal. You know what I mean? Like I can do anything. Oh, sorry. Do anything.
Well, that's it. You can get anything. You can get diapers. You can get clothes. You can get toys. You can get food. If you don't have any money for food, you can buy your own food there. Yes. So that's going to help you. But I usually give a Sears card to people because they got a lot of cute baby stuff
I'm
there.
shocked that Toys R Us kept up for as long as it did, actually. Yeah. And GameStop, there were so many. I'll never forget the GameStop by my old apartment. Every morning I would pass by it, and then literally in one day, I was like, "What happened?" Because I just bought a game there the day before. I'm like, "What happened?"
Oh, our GameStop's going to go out of business because my son now doesn't even buy hard copy games anymore. He's finally started because he's got his own, debit Visa. Now he buys all his games.
The issue is with Toys R Us, you don't offer any kind of limitedness or exclusivity that would entice people to be like, okay, this is like if Hasbro and Mattel only sold specific items there, I think more people would maybe go there. But even then, it's like, I could live without it. You know what I mean? Like I could maybe live without the Barbie Monopoly version. You know what I mean?
Kind of sad though, with somebody my age. I don't know if it's the same to you guys, but I mean, growing up in the 80s and going to a Toys R Us was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
because we were poor anyway. I very rarely got to a Toys R Us. But I mean, and the commercial was iconic. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah.
And you think about a lot of the businesses from when I was a kid, or a lot of things from when I was a kid are gone. There's no more
Blockbuster.
Radio Shack.
Yeah. Blockbuster's
It's
gone.
Future Shop,
Blockbuster's
Blockbuster, yeah.
Future Shop here in Canada. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I loved Future Shop too. I much preferred it to Best Buy.
I always preferred Best Buy. They don't pressure you there.
No, but you know what? We got a lot of good deals because you could haggle for prices at Future Shop.
Watch my prediction. Best Buy will get in trouble too.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people they only go to Best Buy to look at the product, and then they go home and they order it from Amazon or some online place.
I don't know how much I would trust getting a TV shipped to me, though.
No, I would not 100%. I like going into the store and bringing my TV home with me.
And that's not to say that I haven't had some really big things shipped to my house before, and I know it is feasible, but I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Well, I like big packages. You know what I'm saying? But,
ship them all to Ryan's house.
No, but it's just the exclusive thing. It's starting to really wane. I'm not talking about this in race. There's no negative connotation towards anything about this, but I'm talking exclusive stores. They will eventually all start to kind of die down. You think about companies like Gap, Old Navy. I'm sure their sales are, somewhat kind of waning a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it's specific. It's too specific sometimes.
And the other part of it is sad is it has nearly 65,000 employees worldwide that are going to lose their jobs.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Their hours are probably already getting cut as we speak. And all of these.
But I'm also reading here too in this article. I didn't realize this, that Lego has had a huge drop in sales. They've already laid off 1,400 workers. And Mattel and Hasbro are because of their second quarter has been pretty poor without Toys R Us closing. They're probably going to start laying off.
Oh my God, where am I going to buy my Barbies? So
Amazon.
It's sad. It's sad. No, it's very sad. That these.
Yeah, it is sad.
We grew up knowing are eventually dying down, but it's a part of reality. The digitalization and technological advancements in life, these are the effects of it. Let's be frank. You know what I mean? I know that in McDonald's specifically, they're starting to have these little kiosk thingies.
Yeah.
Or these little thingies where you could order from Chili's.
It's awful. I use them because the lines are so busy at my McDonald's. I do use them because I only have a short break. Right? And also, I remember we had that huge order when we were down East Arthur. I mean, I don't want to give that to a person. They would have fucked that up for sure.
Absolutely.
They're doing this in Denny's. Chili's has that little thing now too. So there's really Olive Gardens as well. People are not realizing it's that's causing it.
Self-serve, self-serve gas. You're putting a gas guy out of business. The same. Look, our minimum wage is going up in January, and it's going up again next January. And companies are already installing self-serve machines in their grocery stores. Walmart immediately the next day I went to Walmart and saw that they already had 8 machines in their store that were not there previously.
It's the truth, right? These things, they happen. There's nothing we can do about them. Right now we can't protest about this all the time, because the truth is, you not having a conversation with somebody and being on your phone, you're adding to that.
We're going to automate ourselves out of business. We're going to literally, we're going to end up like that movie WALL-E, where we're just sitting around on chairs, going around in circles.
We have to, I think that I think we can protect ourselves by laws and be at least 50% have to have, people working in them and not just all. That's the only way to save that. If we can't, there's nothing we can do.
But they'll do it. They'll be like, but by using these robots, it's safer. No human lives are at danger.
And then we have that whole AI conversation we had last week.
Yeah.
And then we'll all be getting shot, and I can't use my coupons 3 times. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I don't do that.
Oh my God, yeah, because the machines aren't going to let you use your extra coupons. They'll be like, no,
I don't do that.
Allowed,
I don't do that.
Allowed.
That's fraud. I don't do that.
Doubling up on coupons.
No, but these are the things. It's the price that we have to pay. Sorry, I keep going in it.
That's okay. One story I want to talk about really quickly before the show ends. So in Australia, there's a huge campaign to legalize same-sex marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of opponents to it. I've watched some really crazy TV show commercials from it. Commercials by basically these women saying, they're going to make our kids gay by having same-sex marriage laws, right?
This is Australia,
apparently
by the way.
somebody paid thousands of dollars, or maybe not thousands, hundreds of dollars to have someone skywrite the words vote no above a neighborhood. But what they've done, what the Australian government has done, which I think is just a waste of money, they, instead of having a real legal binding vote where you can say vote yes or no, they've done a mailed out vote where people can cast a ballot.
Yeah.
But it means nothing. They're just going to look at it and decide maybe we'll change the law if we see more people want it or don't want it. What's the point of wasting the money on that?
By the way, this is in Australia?
Yeah.
This is not in America. It's already legal here right now, at least for now. This is in Australia, people? This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know, Australia is a pretty... As much as the people seem like peace, love, and hippies, they're pretty conservative.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They are. They're very conservative.
You know, they're pretty conservative there still, especially when it comes to like governmental things, you know, like the immigration laws. I mean, you have people from Asia being beaten up in the streets.
Yep.
Oh my God! Yeah, the Asian, the Asian, what do you call that? Violence that happens in Australia is huge number.
Yeah, yeah, and of course now because they've had a couple hits from you know, Muslim extremists, so there's a lot of people that are very anti-Muslim. I mean, I have a few friends that I know online from Facebook, and they're all pro this same-sex marriage vote. But let me tell you some of the things I see them posting about Muslims.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So it's, you know, and I mean, I love them. They're nice people. I know that they have nice hearts, but it's kind of like, whoa. Whoa. But they're afraid. I understand. When you're afraid, you hate.
I've just never understood any of the counter arguments to same-sex marriage. Like, it seriously makes zero fucking sense to me. None of your religious bullshit matters. None of it. Like, not a single fucking word you can say with any kind of religious connotation will ever matter to me in that sense. It's just marriage. Nobody is forcing you to marry a man if you're a fucking man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get the fuck over it.
Marry me instead.
You know, I got into an argument with my neighbor a few years ago about this shit when we were passing our same-sex marriage bill. And that was his argument, that he was scared that it would turn his kid gay, like all this open gayness. And I fucking lost my shit. And I kept saying to him, like, look, sex and sexuality was never talked about in my house at all. Yeah. And yet I have a gay sister.
Yeah.
So explain that fucking bullshit to me. And he just kind of gave me this flabbergasted look. I'm like, exactly. It's not a fucking learned habit, bud. It's not your fucking homophobia, which is a fucking taught and learned fucking thing, man. You're an idiot. And it really pissed me off because I had so much respect for this man, and I lost so much respect for him when he said that shit.
Well, because people don't...
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, but because people don't realize these kinds of things, it's like, this is the truth. I am a gay Southern woman, and you know, the truth is I didn't choose that. You know what I mean? Like, people I didn't learn how to, you know, I was gonna say something really dirty, but you know, I didn't learn how to like other men.
No.
Well, Ryan, you told me you were like 4 years old when you knew you were gay.
Oh, I've
maybe not the word gay, but you always liked boys.
Yeah, I didn't have a term, but I've always had, you know, this attraction to other boys, thinking I'm going to be with a boy, not with a girl. I never imagined myself having a woman. Oh my God, I'm not a lesbian like you. But like, you know, I don't want to be with another. I don't want to be with a woman. I'm not transgender. I'm not. You know, I just don't have the desire to be with a woman and see her cave of wonders. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The thing that annoys, the one statement or argument that the anti-people make that just drive me crazy is they're ruining the sanctity of our marriage. No, heteros have been doing that for a long time. You know, when Britney Spears gets married for 72 hours and frickin' Kim Kardashian's married for fucking whatever it was, 69 days or some stupid shit. That's ruining the sanctity of our marriage.
Here's the thing, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people ever have really grasped. Marriage is something that is done by the state. Matrimony is your religion.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have to understand that religion has no ownership over the term marriage.
Yeah.
That is solely done by a state, your country.
Yeah, that's why you can get married at City Hall without a priest present or a
Boom.
minister or, whatever your
Right?
religious guy is.
So that whole argument is fucking stupid. It has no fucking footing in any real anything. And it's fucking dumb. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Oh, and the other one that's really stupid. Oh, if we allow gays to get married, next we'll be marrying our dogs.
Yeah.
No, you sick fuck.
No,
you're not marrying your dog because a dog can't say I do.
Or fucking the pedophiles. That was another big one. Oh, well, if we allow the gays to get married, then we'll have to allow pedophiles to have sex with children.
That's
no.
Sickening, because they equate gay with pedophilia.
You know what I mean?
Which is fucking disgusting.
It's some of the most abhorrent stuff I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Yeah.
And again, like, I've lost respect for people that I had a lot of respect for over that shit. And it sucked. It sucks a lot that they're stupid, bigoted fucking bullshit in that manner, you know?
I don't go into your bedroom, into your house and see what you're doing with your wife or your girlfriend. I'm not telling you what you legally can and cannot do with her or him.
Right.
Don't fucking tell anybody else what they can do with their lover.
No, it's such a dumb fucking argument. Like, if two people want to get married, then they have every fucking right to get married. Like, again, your religion does not own the term marriage. That is solely due to a state.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes out of this vote, though. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to come up. Yes, like people are supporting for it, but I really kind of want to know what's the outcome of this vote, other than wasting, I would assume at least hundreds of thousands of dollars. How much does it cost to mail a letter in Australia? Yeah,
no, it's fair. Like, I mean, it should be an interesting one because let's face it, they are a fairly hate-filled fucking nation of people.
It's funny because when you watch or you see them on TV, I watch like Australian Big Brother and stuff.
Yeah.
They seem so nice. I've known a few Australians. Like I said, they're very nice people, but they're so, I don't want to say intolerant, but intolerant.
It's the only word you can use. Like, they are intolerant. It's, they're very tribalistic with themselves, which is fine.
Yes, that's a good word. Tribalistic. Yeah.
We all are to some degree. Yeah. Like, I know that I am, but I just don't, again, the whole same-sex marriage, any of the arguments have never made any sense to me.
Yeah. Completely invalid.
And it wasn't even because, like, it's not even because I have a gay sister. I don't give two shits that my sister's fucking gay. Like, it makes no fucking difference to my life at all.
Exactly. That's the thing. It doesn't impact your life because it's not your life. It's her life.
Right? Like, And I find, like, that's the big thing with it is it's these people feeling they have the right to dictate what other people can and can't fucking do. And as far as I'm concerned, that just goes against my own personal beliefs on how we should be allowed to live.
Yeah. And I get, like, I always, because the kids would always say to me, oh, would you be mad if I was gay? I'd be like, no. Do I wish that for you? No, because it's a hard life. It's not to the point where you can be out and equal and have 100% acceptance. People are still going to walk by you and call you the F word or the D word or whatever, right? I don't wish that on anybody.
No.
But I don't care if you're gay because, like you said, it doesn't impact my life other than I might have to fight somebody if they call you a name.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But everyone gets called names regardless of what walk of life you are.
But I don't care if you call my kid stupid or a lesbo or an asshole. I'm probably going to fight you.
Yeah. Right? Like,
I'm going to try to fight you.
Everybody gets insulted at one point in time.
Yeah. Well, it makes you stronger.
It does. It absolutely does.
As long as you're not harassed and bullied. I don't like bullies. But you know what? I was called names. I called people names.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I still to this day call fucking people names. Like, I don't give a shit. Fuck that.
Same. You know what? Okay, can we quickly, Ryan's not here because maybe I should save this for Monday. People's kids.
Yeah.
When I look at pictures of some people's kids, and I'm not just talking about babies, I'm talking about adult children, middle child, that age. Some kids are just hideous beasts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, and look, I'm not a fucking supermodel by any means, okay? I'm an old, fat, middle-aged lady, right? But I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I think my kids are them, and I know every parent thinks their own kid is the most beautiful kids. I know my kids are the most beautiful kids on the planet, right? I get that. And luckily, none of the kids in our family are ugly, except for maybe Arthur.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's handsome, but you know, I look at some kids and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Is that mean? Is that awful?
I don't know. I mean, I
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be like, oh, you have an ugly baby.
Oh, you're not supposed to?
No.
Oh, because
people
I
don't
do.
like when you say that.
Yeah, no wonder some of my friends have stopped talking to me then. Because it's true. Like, I've had friends have kids like, oh, she's the cutest. And I'm like, hey, your kid's kind of weird looking. Like, the fuck?
I saw a picture today and they were like, oh, look at my beautiful daughter. And I just thought, oh my God, your daughter is a fucking, literally a hideous monster beast.
Yeah, it looks like fucking Shrek, man. What the fuck?
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. I wrote a Facebook status about that last year before, some shit about people like, do people realize that their kid isn't as cute as they try to fucking portray on Facebook? And oh shit, the fucking shit that started to fly over that one was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, it was straight up just a troll and they took the bait, but fuck, it was so many offended people. Oh, you don't know. You'll know when you have kids.
I mean, all babies are cute. Like, to some degree, they're cute in their way. I mean, newborn babies all look like turtles to me. I don't care what baby it is. The newborn for the first month is weird looking.
Yeah.
Right? It isn't until they start to fill it, they start to look cute. You know, and I've got a few great nieces, and now we've got a little great grandnephew.
Mm-hmm.
And I had another one too. I forgot. I have 2 grandnephews. These kids are all adorable. I'm not talking. Hopefully, my family's not listening. Think I'm talking about those kids. My family has not made one ugly kid.
Again.
And maybe I don't know if it's biased, but my family has no ugly kids. I'm talking about people that are none of my family and they're hideous monster beast children.
Kids are weird. Like they are.
Yeah, and my father used to say, he used to call us all, my sisters and I, all ugly child. He'd be like, hello, ugly child. So maybe that's why none of us have any self-esteem.
Possibly.
This is a joking way, but still. And I'd always say, well, I look just like you. And he'd say, but it looks good on a man. So. So I guess I look like a man.
I mean, I don't know. I look just like my fucking dad, and that man's hideous, so.
Yeah, well, no, see, that's the thing. You look kind of like your dad. I see a lot of my dad in you because I think about how your dad looked when he was your age, and I don't think you look like him at all. I think you look more like him now with the beard.
Yeah.
But I think without the beard, you don't look that much like him. Because, like, think about your dad, how he looked at his wedding to your mom.
Yeah.
You don't look anything like that.
Fair.
But I think as he gets older and you get older, you guys are looking more alike. Like, I never thought I looked like my mom, but now that I'm old and she's old, I kind of see that we look alike now.
Yeah.
So.
But no, it's true. I've seen so many fucking, like, Facebook posts and shit of, like, these parents trying to, like, turn their kids into, like, Instagram models or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that your kid doesn't look cute. Like, it does to you, but your kid looks like a fucking fool right now. Like, that shit's child abuse. Like, fuck off with that fucking nonsense.
I love the articles where they're like, especially, of course, BuzzFeed. It always goes back to BuzzFeed. Oh, this little girl's a fashion model. She's rocking it. I'm like, she's 2. She's not picking out her wardrobe. Her mommy is dressing her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not stylish. She doesn't fucking know anything. Maybe when she's 5 or 6 and she starts to pick out her clothes, okay. But until then, she's crazy. Oh my God, speaking of crazy outfit, your little niece, Aislinn, when I was down there, picked out the best outfit, and your sister was not having
it. No doubt. Aislinn's a fucking wild child. Like, that kid.
Oh, yeah.
She's on another
She had on, like,
level.
some crazy pants and this dress with a poofy kind of, like, almost like a tutu effect to it.
Yeah.
And your sister's like, no, Aislinn. Aislinn's like, yes. I loved it.
You gotta let AC do her thing. Like, that kid, that kid's a little fucking punk rocker. Like,
yeah.
I love that little bastard. She's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, they make.
Oh, yeah. My nieces are great. Fucking, like, they're great. But AC, to me, like, she just reminds me a lot of me. Like, she's just got that kind of, like, no, I'm gonna do what I want. Go fuck yourself kind of attitude. And
yeah, she's got a lot of burns in her.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's, again, I don't want to call anybody out, but I mean, at the same point in time, none of the people that I know with kids are ever gonna fucking listen to this shit anyway, because they hear me rant enough as is. But
true.
It's so funny to me how my friends fucking portray their children on the internet, and I'm like, I know your fucking kid. Like, I watched your kid shit itself like yesterday on purpose, and it's 6 years old. What the fuck are you trying to do right now? Like,
I know, like, oh, my kids are so perfect.
Yeah,
no,
like,
they still
no.
pick their noses and
like I watched your kid have a hissy fit and smack the shit out of you, and you did nothing about it. Like, no, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop. You're not fucking pulling
Kids
the wool.
are little monsters.
Yeah.
And no matter, the more you try to control them, the freaking, especially in public, the more wild they get because they're going to embarrass you. That's what they like to do.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. I mean, look at me. My parents tried to control me, and I turned out to be a fucking, a real gem.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. You're not in jail for murder or anything.
No, because I'm smart enough not to get caught.
There we go.
But it's like, even that though, it's because it's not even like it's a new thing. Because I go to my nan's house down east, and my nan's living room just full of family pictures. It's like that old person thing to do. And there's pictures of me in like this fucking like sailor's outfit or like fucking rocking suspenders and shit. And I'm
love
like,
that picture,
what the fuck? Why would you do that to me? Like, that's child abuse.
That's fashion back then, right? That was considered cute.
But there it is though, right? And that's what these idiots will say. Oh, it's the fashion. So I put my kid in skinny jeans and a fucking flat brimmed hat and made him look like some fucking goddamn in a fucking Justin Bieber video. Fuck.
Child abuse.
That's child abuse. Like, you're a terrible parent. The fuck's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, remember back in England, maybe they still do in some degree, short pants and everything on the boys, and even in the winter time. So
no, that's child abuse. You're wrong. You done fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I see some of the clothes that people put on their kids, and when your kid's wearing like, and my kid was no different. Trust me, I'm not saying. When your kid's wearing like some green sweatshirt with like a fucking monster on it and a pair of orange track pants.
Yeah.
Isn't that also child abuse?
Kind of, but at least then it's childish. I have a beef with people that dress their kids up like little adults.
Oh, okay.
I really do.
Especially some of the girls' outfits are kind of a little sexualized.
Right? Like my backyard backs onto a school.
Yeah.
So I'll sit out there and I'll, drink a cup of coffee, have a smoke while the dog's out there just to make sure they're not fucking with my dog.
Yeah.
And I look at how some of these kids are dressed and I'm like, this is insane. Like, how do you get away with this shit? And it's funny because a lot of it does have to come down to this whole, like, what am I trying to say here? Like discrimination and shit.
Yeah.
That you can't stop a girl from wearing like a spaghetti string fucking tank top because it's sexualized, right? Because that's now the boys' problem. It's the boys' problem or whatever. And I'm like, well, no, that kid's 9 years old and shouldn't be fucking wearing that shit, period. Yeah. Like, why are you allowing a kid to wear such essentially a fucking skanky fucking shirt?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't have a problem with spaghetti straps as long as it's not low cut. You know what I mean? Like, my daughter has a couple of shirts that are more like a halter top style, so it comes up high above the breasts, right? There's no cleavage showing, but it's a bit of a spaghetti strap. You can't see the bra.
Yeah.
Maybe the back you could see the bra, but for the most part, at like 13, 14, 15, that doesn't bother me. But you're right. When you're like 7 or 8 and you're wearing something and it's low cut, and when the girl bends over, you see your little boobies and stuff. No, that's not appropriate. You're the parent.
Appropriate. And that's
and
it,
even
right?
when your kid gets bigger. My daughter's now almost 16, and I'll still tell her if something's not appropriate. I'm like, ask your dad if you think it's appropriate.
Yeah,
really. And if it's something I really don't like, I'll throw it out. Trust me. I don't care if she used her own money to buy it. I will toss that shit.
Yeah, no, it does. It blows my mind, some of the things I see. And again, it's not just on the girl side. Like, even the way some of these little boys are fucking dressing is insane. Yeah. Like, pants halfway around their fucking asses and shit like that.
I can't deal with that.
And again, to me, like, that's child abuse. Like, and not in the sense that you allowed your kid to dress that way. It's just the fact that you lack the oversight to allow your child to leave the house. Yeah. But then I see the fucking parents come to the school and pick them up, and it's fucking 28 degrees out there in pajama pants, Ugg boots, and some fucking sweater looking like they just rolled out of their fucking drunken stupor. I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
I'm as white trash as they come,
Mm.
and I can tell you, I promise you, I never wore my pajamas to pick up the kids from school.
Fuck
I would
no.
put jogging pants over my pajamas and walk there, but I don't wear my pajamas in public. That's ridiculous.
Oh, it's such an embarrassment to me because, like, again, I live right by this school. You know, I've been living in this
Yeah.
neighborhood for a long time. So, like, when I walk past the school and see these fucking train wrecks picking up their little fucking shits, I know most of these fucking people. I went to either elementary school or high school with these idiots, and it's like
Yeah.
I just want to beat the shit out of them for being so fucking lazy and stupid, and to
That
teach
was
their
my
fucking
threat to the
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
If you're bad, I'm going to embarrass you at school by coming to school in pajamas and no bra
Yeah.
and curlers in my hair and embarrass you.
No, that's just the status quo now. That's just like, oh my god, it's fucking insane. Like I'm pretty sure you remember Glen Street Public School.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
You should see these fucking whores picking up their litters of fucking children. It's a fucking shit show. Like,
Well, I mean, they gotta get more babies, so they gotta advertise, I guess, right?
oh my fucking god! Like, it's disgusting. It's so gross, and yeah, a lot of my fucking beef with them comes with how they allow their children to present themselves in public.
Yeah, I see it. It's a whole nother topic,
Uh.
but I see a lot of kids that are out of control, and I'm not talking about special needs kids. I'm talking about kids that at my work are crawling on skids. They're
Yeah.
climbing on displays, doing whatever the fuck they want, and the parents don't even look at them.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
don't even look at them. Let me tell you, when I was a kid, my parents were not the best parents in the world. But trust me, if we misbehaved out in public, my mom would take me in the bathroom and smack my fucking ass. Or
Yeah.
she would get the hand, she'd grab me by the arm and dig her nails in her underflesh and be like, you better settle down right now. Like, people don't do that anymore. Although we have the one lady that comes to work and yells and beats her kids in the store. We had to tell her to leave the store. She was beating her kids nonstop for like half an hour straight.
I think I would high five her.
Oh no, she was ridiculous.
You know, it's just there's a lack of that kind of shit. Like, you're not allowed
Yeah.
to discipline your fucking children. Now, again,
This was beyond discipline.
like,
This
abuse is abuse, and you cannot
Yeah.
forgive abuse. Like, you cannot overlook abuse. You have to call abuse out when you fucking see it. But like,
Yeah.
again, when like me just saying a little while ago about watching one of my friend's kids haul off and smack their
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
mother.
Smack the kid back as it needs to
You
learn.
know what I mean? And then the
Yeah.
fear was, well, I can't discipline the child because the child will then go to school and say that my mommy hits me, and then I lose my fucking kids. Well, no,
Yeah.
fuck that fucking bullshit. Like that.
Do you know what, though? I will say, I mean, my kids had spanks.
Mhm.
Not that often. But the thing that really worked the best for me, and I know it's not for every kid, the corner. And I mean, I put Logan in the corner until he was like 13 years old. That shit doesn't anymore. That kid doesn't listen to anything I say anymore because he's almost 18. But I will tell you, that was very effective for my kids. They hated the corner, but they stayed. That's the funniest thing. They stayed in there.
Yeah, there's
And counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. That even still works on him sometimes to this day because he knows when I get to 3, I change the Wi-Fi password. So counting to 3.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Well, that's the only way I can control him now is
Yeah.
change the Wi-Fi password.
I don't know. It's just, I was spanked. You were spanked.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that grew up with spankings are ruling and leading the fucking world. They're fucking leading in tech. Like, Elon Musk probably got fucking spanked on the
Yeah.
ass.
And we're talking about spanking. We're not talking about
I'm
beating.
not talking
It's a
about fucking
definite
child
difference.
abuse. Like, child
Yeah.
abuse is child abuse. There's no excuse. There's no reason
Yeah.
for it. But yeah, you know what I mean? And now you start to see now the generation coming up that wasn't spanked.
Yeah.
That, you know, we're just
They're out
patted
of
on.
fucking control, and now they're fucking Antifa.
You're right.
Antifa.
They're entitled little fucking shits that believe that participation trophies exist.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe that's how we can deal with Antifa. Just spank them.
Yeah. Well, people have been trying, but
You know, I think I gave my kids a spanking fetish, though. I really
Huh.
think that they're going to be spanked because I would do I'd be like, I'm going to spank your bum, and I would spank them, right?
yeah.
As for fun. And then they'd be like, spank it more, mommy. So
Oh.
now I'm worried that they'll have spanking fetishes. Sorry if you're listening, children.
Yeah. You gave your kids an unwanted kink.
I know. Well, I mean, it could be worse. There's worse kinks. They could be bronies or something.
Oh, fucking bronies. See, oh, fuck. I love the internet for that shit because that was just a
Oh.
flat out troll. And these idiots
Yeah.
bought it.
Well, and my son asked me, he's like, well, is there like, what's the weird? I'm like, Logan, I couldn't even name you the weirdest thing in the world because whatever you could think of, that's someone's kink.
Yeah. No, yeah. What's it? Rule 42 or some shit like that. If it exists, there's porn of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He is listening. Do you have a spanking fetish, Logan? While you're listening, let us know. Anyway, we should say goodbye. We went long, 20 minutes over, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I need to get coffee into me.
Yes. Have a good week. Listen to our Sunday show with the TV attack, and then we'll be back on Monday. Have a good week, guys.
All right, take care.